Next speaker, Jim Martin, followed by Paul Weekland.
Jim Martin, Recreational Fishing Alliance. Mr. Cunningham, it's my understanding that the Science Advisory Team does fall under the Bagley-Keene Act because it was mentioned in the law. It's not just an advisory committee that was set up by the department. Is that correct?
Mr. Martin, Bill Cunningham again. It's my understanding that the Bagley-Keene Act applies to a variety of agencies, including those created by statute, those created by executive order or direction, and also those created by other groups of agencies, including, for example, the Commission. Should it create an advisory group, it would also subsequently be governed under certain restrictions, yes.
Does the Bagley-Keene Act also apply to the master plan team that is mentioned in the MLPA?
Again, it may, because again, it appears that such a body was created by statute, and the Bagley-Keene Act does appear to apply to all multi-member bodies that are created by statute.
Thank you. Why this is important is when we engaged as representatives on the regional stakeholder group, immediately when they started, they said, you guys cannot talk to the scientists. And what we'd like to do, we're bringing this up because not only there was a violation of the Bagley-Keene Act when it was the SAT, it wasn't the Blue Ribbon Task Force. What we're trying to do is work more directly with the scientists the next go-round, and it would help us to have public comment, not just in the last 15 minutes of the meeting, but maybe several times, and I'll talk to John Curlin about that. Thank you very much.
Jim, if I may also, I would suggest that as the process gels, we get an SAT, we get a new BRTF for the next region, that as we move along through this, if you detect any things such as the thing about which you're speaking or others, that you definitely take that to Mr. Curlin. You also take it to us as well in public forum and let us know what's going on. That way, while we are not in that loop directly, it would help us to understand the process, and I think it would be perhaps end up with a better result if that's possible.
Absolutely, that's what this is all about.
And that's what we're all trying to accomplish.
You learned that last time.
Right.
I mean, where almost, I think we're all unanimous for more, more public discussion.
Yeah, there was a tremendous effort, as I'm sure you're well aware. I mean, anyone who enters into a lessons learned process as extensive as this one was, there are going to be some interesting things come out of it, and probably some things about which you're very, very pleased.
Well, I attended a couple of the science advisory team meetings at the beginning, and I felt like there was no way to interact. You go through this whole discussion all day long. You got things you want to raise your hand, a question to ask, and they gave you 15 minutes at the end, and I stopped going.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's a very frustrating thing. There's a difference between that and being able to say something and then not having your input become part of the process because people made a different decision. There are a lot of people who in this room have made commentary that they weren't heard, they didn't have an opportunity to make an impact. No, it was simply because they were not persuasive, and what they had to say just didn't carry the day. There's a difference between hearing it, having a perfect opportunity to make your presentation, and people deciding you were not where they want to go with a decision. That is perfectly legal, perfectly everything. It's just you aren't persuasive. Not having access is a different question entirely. Thanks, Jim. But stay involved in that.